welcome to Conquering Mount Scrap. We're with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with our very first episode of Happy Scrappy Overflow. Now, this is the third string quilt we've made in a row. Now, if you don't have any strings left, right, you can definitely just use solid pieces or solid scrap, and your quilt is going to turn out beautifully. I'm actually sewing, I think, step 5 right now. And I'm running out of strings, finally, especially the color strings. So we were kind of like, okay, we've got some colored strings, we got some white triangles, it's going to be okay. Now the PDF for this is in our show notes or the description box below, so go look for it. And it's 6.5 inches square, unfinished. So this one is going to be very quick and very fun. Now, but first, let's do our shout-outs. Let's get all this out of the way. Gina Tell from Thread Graffiti is just having a blast. And Janice from La Rue des Fleurs is also just, she's got a very talented voice, very artistic. So you guys got to check both of those out. And like I say, when you go check them out, if you like what you see, give them a comment, thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, hype, hit the bell, whatever. Tell them that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. Now, if that's what you want to do for us too, that would help us out. All of that kind of actions, the hype you do on your cell phones. I don't have YouTube on my cell phone, but anyways, you do the hype and you get to push all of that helps the analytics, push us forward, so we get to meet new quilters, right? And we get to give away 3 fun patterns every week. So we have a lot of fun here. Now, once Happy Scrappy Overflow is done, then we're going to start on the disappearing pinwheel. And that's the purple and white quilt. This one is Mrs. Bannister's Star from her book, Jen Kingwell's book, So Lovely. But the next one is that purple and white quilt. People always ask about it. Yeah, we're going to do the disappearing 9 patch right away after this one is done. Let's see what else. Oh, Zoom sew dates are also in our show notes below. You got to check those out and come. And if you don't feel like sewing that day, please please come hang out. It'll be fun. If you want to bring your crocheting or cross stitch, yeah, it's fine. We're more inclusive than exclusive. We also have a Facebook group, and we have all sorts of fun chats and fabric exchanges by country to keep postal costs down. We also do a virtual sewing room hosted by Discord, and the people that are joining in there are just having a good time. The admins say, please agree to the rules and answer the questions. They can't let you in otherwise, and they're trying to, keep the group safe for quilters, right? Instead of keeping the scammers and the riffraff out that, people that cause problems within groups. Also, I speak for free to quilting guilds and quilting groups, so if you guys are looking for a speaker, this is my way of giving back to the quilting community. You can get a hold of me either on the email address under the About tab, or you can message me directly through the Facebook group. I'm fine either way. And another thing, if you guys have shout-outs, if you guys are seeing a quilting channel that's working hard, has a different voice, and is just having fun, send them my way. I'd be happy to give them a shout out. Again, the About tab has my email address, and you can message me through the Facebook group. Just don't tell them. Don't tell them you're sending their name for a shout out. It's a good way of sneaking around and doing something nice for people. And we have a nice list now that we can draw from. So that's great. We have two collaborations. One of them is from Handmade by Ying with Donna. Now Donna has assembled a handful, a couple of handfuls of really talented quilters, and we're all teaching just very basic skills. Now this is perfect for the beginners, but it's also perfect for the guys who've been around and picked up some bad habits. So you gotta go check these people out, because they're all doing some really fun lessons. So that's one thing. Now the other challenge is the Quilters Challenge, right? The Quilter Circle Challenge. Now that is from Kelly from Kelly's Quilts and Crafts, Sam Elberts, Deb from Sewing with Debbie, Michelle from Bits and Pieces, another Kelly from Silly Moon Quilting, and then Future Cat from New Zealand. And we come up with themes. We challenge each other. What does that theme mean to you? But we do the themes, and then what happens is we also challenge our viewers. we have seen some amazing things come out of that challenge. It is just like every time I see one in our Facebook group, my heart just flutters. It's like, wow, are those ever cool? So you guys are gonna, you know, do some fun challenging and everything else. And like I say, I think that's about it. That's about all we got here. So come on in. Let's get to the sewing step 1 from Happy Scrappy Overflow. Okay, Happy Scrappy Overflow block 1. So there's some hacks with this. It is a 6.5 inch finished. I'm sorry, it's 6.5 inches unfinished and then 6-inch finished, right? So what I did is I just drew my lines here, you know, like with the tracing wheel, right? So basically now this will fold, right, and get out of the way when we need to. But first we're going to start this. We have to do some, you know, some sewing here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through this, and I'm going to try and line this up. Not really that great, but you do need like that extra little bit on either side. So make like a 1/4 inch on each side. Okay, there we go. I actually was complaining to the ladies in the sewing room that I ran out of the strings. I'm like right down to like just a wee tiny little handful of strings, and I'm like, oh my lord. Well, like, and we've done 3 string quilts, right, in a row, so of course I'm going to run out. Of course. Why is anybody surprised that we're running out? So, but anyways, that's okay. That's okay. We can run out of strings. That'll be fun. Just, you know, make your stuff bright and crazy. You know, pink. Yes, bright pink can go beside bright orange. Yes, that's fine. Nothing is bad. The biggest thing with strings is varying your widths. Right now, that may sound a little strange, but trust me, it's something to consider. If you have, you know, the same width after same width after same width, after a while, the pattern gets really boring. And you don't want boring in your blocks. Anything but boring is, you know, that's the best option. Now, some people too, what they do, I'm just going to get rid of the board here. Hang on. And some people, what they do is they put, they try and put other, you know, things going on, like little slants and stuff like that. You can do that too. But it's not, the slanting is not as effective as varying your widths. That is just, that's the way to go, is varying those widths. I know that sounds strange, but it's very, very true. You know, because they get too similar and it looks more like a rails block than a string block. And you want twinkle. You want people's eyes to go from, you know, one string to the next, right? Now, this is one of those strings where it goes really, really light, and then it goes back to some color. Now we're gonna push that so we are only using the colored bit of the block. We're not, this would be too pale to put in because it reads more white than, or low volume than color. So we want to make sure that does not end up in our quilt or in the color area. But we can cut off we can use the color bits. That's fine. Now, let's see. Ooh, let's put, you know what, I betcha, will this go? Will this orange cover? Yes, it will. Okay, let's do this big wide strip here. And that's going to cover right to the corner. So that's a good thing. And we're just going to go a little bit past. Now that I've used this in here, I can't use it again. So I'm just going to put that to the side. Just in case you guys are wondering, wait a minute. It would probably go on the other side too. Yes, it would. This is one of those like, okay. All right, what is this? Ooh, okay, let's get the, oh yeah, let's get a red plaid in there. Yeah, let's get the red plaid. Okay, I'm just going to use that much. I'm going to put that over there because it was a long string, but it's kind of a narrow one. Let's see. There we go. It's fun. Mix up your, make sure your plaid, you get plaids and stripes and polka dots and all those kind of fun things. Now this is a very short little piece. Oh, I can got some pink. All right. We'll save those for another block. I am going to put a brown in here because I can. And I'm just going to cut it so that it peeks out 1/4 inch on either side. And we're just going to run across like that. Now, I have forgotten a rotary cutter and a cutting mat and all this other stuff. So I'm going to cut here. Just going to show you what that looks like first. See, everything is covered, right? So now we got to trim these edges, right? Because we did that with our tracing wheel. We got to trim it and put these pieces on. I have a hack here. So I will be right back as soon as I get a rotary cutter and a cutting mat and all that other stuff. Okay, hang on. Okay, so I got everything I needed. The tracing wheel went along this line here, creating a mark so that I could bend it over easier and I can see where I can line up my strings from. So you have to be a healthy, chubby 1/4 inch, right? Let's just call it a chubby 1/4 inch and be done. Okay, there we go. So that goes into the pet bed. The pet bed supply bin. And now you'll get the other side of this and make sure, you know that one that we were checking to see if it was dark enough? I'm going to check again, make sure it's dark enough. Because if you have put on a piece and it's not dark enough, there's a cheat on how to do this. But, okay, I'll show you the cheat, but just not really like... Okay, so let me grab another piece of fabric here. I'm going to grab the black. So if this was not dark enough, but areas here were dark enough, but not this area, you could take a piece of fabric and sew it just inside that first line where the stars are, and then go across like this, right? And then fold that under to top stitch it down. You don't have to pull out that whole area there and stitch rip. You can just sew over it. I know that's not conventional, but it works. So now these are my low volumes. Yeah, they're a little crazy and a lot of fun, but hey, they work. They work as low volumes. So you kind of want to line them up. Now, I took 4.5 inch pieces. And you want to kind of line them up point to point, right? Because you want a little bit extra for all of this. Now, basically now what you're doing is foundation paper piecing those points on, right? So you've got a shorter stitch length. You've had to get the shorter stitch length for the string blocks anyways. Shorter stitch length, sharp needle, all of those things will help you, right, make this. Okay. Here we go. There's one. Okay, pull that out and push that out of the way. Oh yes, it fits perfectly on your block. Perfect. I mean, wow, that's just perfection. And now I've got a little bit of orange. That's fine. Okay. And I'm just, this is a bias edge, right? So just seeing if it's lined up. Yes, it is. Close enough. Okay, so again. Okay, again. Now, if I make a mistake on this, yeah, sharp needle, fine stitches, that's going to be the best thing you can do for your piece that you're working on. And your needle will be so dull by the end of 8 hours. You know, I don't recommend you run it 8 hours because it'll be just awful. Awfully dull. Now, here we go. We're going to do a quick victory lap, as Michelle from Bits and Pieces calls it. I just call it my stay stitching. But, you know, you got it done. Now, you want to do this in the seam allowance. Okay? You want to make sure it stays in the seam allowance, not off everywhere. Pivot with the needle down. That way you're not moving around. Let's see. Now, if you were doing your low volume triangles in string, which you could, you know, then your strings would run across this way, right? And I do have low volume strings, but I wanted to save them for the border. But now it's a good thing I did, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to make the border. It's like, wow. So now, here we go. We got it all seam, you know, the stay stitching. So now we're going to give the block a trim, and I'm just going to use this ruler here. I'm going to trim on the line. This is my finger's a little close, but that's okay. Pet bed. Okay. There we go. Pet bed. There we go, another pet bed. There we go. There. And there we go. There's our block one. Just fun, you know, craziness. And like I say, pull out your kind of like wild low volumes. As long as it reads low volume at 6 feet, when you put this on a wall and the low volume, like I have a little splatters of orange and gray on this one, if it reads low volume or at 6 feet, it's perfect, right? Like this one reads, this area here reads dark, the other area here reads low volume. Let me put it that way, right? So it's, this part is too pale, but you can still use the part that's got color. So I think that's it. Let's give this one a good press and then we'll put it on the rest of the pile. Okay, so here we go. This is block one, and this is one of these blocks. Now, once you do your stay stitching and you've resolved all the, you know, the bias edges, right, pretty much, right? Then you can start ripping them off. Now, on the last quilt we didn't, because I felt having a bias might be advantageous. When we did Twinkle Twinkle, I told you guys not to rip off your paper until we finish the block. Because with that block, having a bias may be at a small advantage. And, you know, okay, then we want to take, hey, we want to take every advantage we can. But when it comes to this block, you might want to sew them together. And they do take up less room in your sewing room if they've got the papers off. Now, I'm just quickly, you see how fast these things come off, right? I mean, it's not like we're taking forever to take all the pieces off. This stay stitching does slow up the edge, yes. But the stay stitching also prevents any stretch. So that's kind of a godsend. So it's like, okay, so we don't have any stretch in my blocks. It makes the paper harder to take off. Okay, all right. But, you know, having that no stretch, that's a huge benefit. Okay. Why is this not coming on? It's like, oh no. Yeah, so it's been a busy few weeks, the last couple of weeks. We're filming this in April. So in case you guys are wondering. Now, on the pattern, there is a 1-inch square. So you know whether you have the right size. And this is a 6.5-inch unfinished, 6-inch finished block. So you guys need to know that, because that was an issue that came up. Because some of you had problems with your printers. I don't know what happened. we didn't have problems with when we printed it, so it was kind of like, oh dear. Anyways, here we go. The last little bit, and it's peeled. So yeah, so this is a 6.5 inch unfinished, 6-inch finish, and there's a little square, and yeah, we just got a little bit of paper here, paper confetti things to pull out, and that's it. That's how fast these are to strip down. So, and they also, the pattern has how many you need for a queen, a twin, a couch, and a crib. So I decided, and if you want to make a different size, let's say you want to make a king size, you'd have to make extra blocks, okay? But yeah, this one's going to be fun and fast. So you guys stay well, take care. I hope you have an amazing week ahead, and life is treating you very gently, okay? So stay well until we see each other again, okay? All right, bye! My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey, and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life, and you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life, and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.